Hello everybody and welcome back to the Everything Moto Racing podcast. I am your host Declan. As always, this is episode 138. I am joined by Cameron and Lauren for a full house. Hello.
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 Hello. It's nice weather at the moment, isn't it?
I know. I kind of wish I'd recorded this outside. I mean, it's a bit too late now because it's like 20 to 9, but I'm sort of like, we should have been outside doing this.
That'd be cool. I mean, I don't really properly have a garden, but...
Open a window.
So I'll sit in my car.
What a proper British podcast. First thing we're going to talk about is the weather.
It's nice today. For like a couple of days, and we're like,
Well, to be fair, I was sat in the garden yesterday watching the BSB. I loved it.
Excellent.
Like proper hot, 1 o'clock race 2. And just sat in the sun watching BSB and Junior GP at the same time.
I'm going to one-up you. Yeah. I was at the beach watching BSB.
You're at the beach? Nice.
On my phone, sitting.
I rate that.
I wasn't like on the beach. There was far too many people. I was sort of like up on like a grassy bank watching race 2 on my phone. It was so lovely.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
That's Ireland for you. What can I say? It's just nicer over here.
Yes. The Bahamas of the British Isles. As
it's commonly known.
Yeah.
But well, sounds like a great weekend.
I think so. Yeah, there's been some good racing.
There's been some spectacular racing. I'll kick off with Moto America slightly, because an ex-podcast guest who's been on it twice now took his first and second Superbike podiums in Sean Dillon Kelly. Getting a second and a third.
Nice.
In his third Moto America event. He got a second and a third.
That's good going.
Super impressive on the BMW that's not got the factory support either. Cambobiers has got it. So very, very well done to Mr. Sean Dillon Kelly for that, because after 2 tough years, getting sacked in Moto 2 last year as well, going back to America, the speed was never lost, clearly.
No.
To beat Jake Gagne as well in both of those, when he got his second, beating Jake Gagne. Super impressive.
Yep, too big for the pod now. Never coming back. That's it.
Nah, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, Sean Dillon Kelly is also one of the most humble people you'll ever meet in your life. So he'll probably be back on for round 3 at some point, because he is a top bloke. But moving on to the other major national series that was on this weekend, British Superbikes. Race 3 was probably one of the best races I think I've ever seen.
How often do we get a 4-way battle right to the line?
Very rarely. In the Premier top class as well.
Yeah.
And of the 4, it was Glenn Irwin on potentially the best bike who finished 4th.
Yeah. And that's another thing as well. It's 4 manufacturers up there.
Well, there's 2 Yamahas.
Oh, was it 2 Yams? Who am I thinking?
Yeah, there was... Oh, wait, no.
No, it wasn't. It was Honda.
No, yeah, you're all right, yeah.
It was I think the top 5 was 5 different manufacturers. But I think the top 4 was definitely 4 different manufacturers. I think Leon Haslam...
Kawasaki.
Yeah, I think Leon Haslam was 5th.
Yeah, that's right,
okay,
yeah.
BM.
Up now.
That's a good stat, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Halloran, now think about it, has now won on 3 different manufacturers, Honda, Yamaha and Kawasaki.
Wow.
Take that, Vinales.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was an absolute dogfight.
Amazing.
That race 3, because Tommy had it going into the bottom of Carrera curves. Tommy was always going to make a move. You come round and you hit that sharp right-hand corner. Tommy could get it in there every time, because the Honda and Kawasaki can carry so much speed, and Jason still outclassed him in that corner.
But then Glenn in the Foggy S's, every move he made to lead the race was at the Foggy S's, and I was like, mark my words, he'll make his move at the Foggy S's and he'll clear off and no one will be able to catch him. And then O'Halloran out of nowhere, and then Tommy obviously had his elbows out, and then Danny Kent too. Like, I'm surprised everyone managed to stay on, which
same. I was like, someone's gonna crash.
Yeah, I was like, this is gonna end in tears, and it's all gonna go sour, and there'll be flashbacks to last year. But
last year,
I was gonna say,
yeah. But they all stayed on, and I think they were all in really good spirits after the race because they were all like, "Oh my god, like what have we just managed to do there?" Like, obviously the likes of Glenn's going to be annoyed he missed out in the podium, but I think he was still sort of just like, "Well, those guys completely just outclassed me there." Like, wow.
Yeah.
Because I think what was it in the post-race interview, Tommy Bridwell was like, I saw Glenn was in it and we had to get our elbows out, but even like congratulated Glenn on the battle. Considering them two aren't exactly friends anymore at all.
Because of Donington really last year. That certainly didn't help things.
Nope. No, it didn't. Yeah. But it was an unbelievable race. Some of the moves that they were all making, I just could not believe what I was seeing. It's amazing to see Danny Kent back up there as well.
Yeah.
After his Moto2, I was listening to the Off Track podcast again because they've dropped an episode with Danny Kent recently, and that was really interesting how he talked about the fact that actually, interestingly, Dorna, so Danny Kent did his Moto2 years, got sacked, had an offer to go and race for Gresini in Moto3 in 2018 again, dropped back to Moto3, had it all pretty much done, and Dorna blocked it in favour, I believe, of Riccardo Rossi.
Really?
Yeah. Which is mental.
God, paddock politics is gross. I hate it.
Yeah. I can only imagine there's been plenty of riders over the year who've had seats blocked. I know of Jessica Raffine having a seat and Dorna blocking him because of poor results, which after 3-4 years in the class I get. But to block a world champion, who's trying to return to the old class and be like maybe an Angel Nieto kind of thing and just be a lightweight specialist, that was quite surprising. But the fact that he then left the paddock, didn't really have anywhere to go. Obviously, we had the knife crime incident as well. But then his resurgence back to the front of BSB now has been amazing.
Yeah, because
brought that up. I completely forgot.
It's like,
that's what I mean. That was like the lowest he went.
Yeah.
That's how bad it got.
There's only one way from there.
Yeah.
It's crazy though, because I didn't really see this coming, because he just kind of came out of nowhere. Because last year he wasn't exactly, like top. Was he top 10 very often? Top 5, like
top 10, I think.
He got podiums. No, he did get so he finished in the championship 14th overall. He did get injured though. He missed half the season, but he did get the odd podium. But yeah, he did miss it. He missed like the last 5-6 rounds through injury. And the year before, I believe his team pulled out. No, that's right. His team pulled out from money last year. And the year before that, when he was on the Suzuki, that's when he got injured and missed a lot of the year. No, that was Hawk Racing. It was year before that. Sorry, 2021 is when he got injured and missed most of it. There's a few years have gone by now, but now he's on the Cams Racing Yamaha, and he's up there every race. The lowest points he's scored this year has been 10 points. BSB's point scoring system is a bit different, so I couldn't tell you what position that is because you get 18 points for a win until like the last few rounds to keep it nice and close.
I think the lowest he's been is 6th.
That's crazy.
Like his consistency, he's been definitely the most consistent. Glenn's taken more wins, obviously, but he's second in the championship.
By 13 points.
By just being thereabouts and managing to get those second and third places. Sort of.
And beating Glenn to get those second and third
going
places.
under the radar a little bit. Like, I didn't realise he was second in the championship until after race 2 yesterday. And I was like, oh God, yeah. Actually, when you think about 3 rounds that we've had, Danny Kent's been up there the whole time. So a pleasant surprise, to be honest, because a lot of people were talking about him when he made the move to the Marjorie and McCann Yamaha for this year. Everyone was sort of going, yep, look out for Danny Kent. And I was a bit like, why? But I mean, he's definitely showed why we should be looking out for him. And I mean, the championship's close. It's been 3 rounds, and obviously, like, when the showdown and stuff like that happens later on in the year, things can change. But we talk about it in MotoGP and other classes that consistency is key, and that'll win you championships. And I think somewhere like BSB, it's definitely going to win you championships if you're consistent. The guys around you are bound to make mistakes, so it's exciting anyway.
Yeah, especially because the scoring system is so close for most of the year. If you crash, you're missing out big time because of it. And then it will be quite difficult to then regain those points that you've lost. Because again, if you're first, second place is scoring only 2 points less than you. So I believe from looking at the scoring system here, first is 18 points, second is 16, third is 14 points. So if you crash out of first and throw 18 points up the road, you've got to get, what's that, like 9 second places to make those points up again? Which is crazy, to make those 18 points up again.
Yeah, that's brutal. But kind of seems to make sense because last year's championship was pretty close, right?
Yeah.
Like, to the end. But, so they seem to be doing something right.
But it was not only close between Tommy and Glenn, obviously it finishing with half a point in Tommy's favour, but going into those last 3 rounds with the showdown points, I think there was still 6 riders that could have won that championship. So
in the last race,
if Tommy or Glenn had made mistakes or more crashes had happened or they'd, come together again, any one of those 6 guys could have won the championship. Had they got to the front and won and took the big points. So I think that's what makes it so much more exciting. Confusing, but exciting, because I think it's going to be the same this year. I think we're going to see sort of 5-6 guys in the running for it.
Hope so.
Yeah, I really hope so, because I do think Moto America is a strong second, but BSB is by far the best national series. And to be honest, out of a lot of the races, if BSB was on, I'd put that on 100%.
Oh, easy. Well, that's what I mean. Like, I'm out and about yesterday and I still put it on because I know it's going to be good racing. Yeah, a few guys in the paddock because it is, national level, but like, it's so good to watch. Like, the racing is just so good. It's my favourite, like, series of racing. And I would put World Superbike second and then, well, Moto 3, to be honest, rather than Moto GP. But like, for excitement on track, it's definitely my favourite.
Well, to add to that, the junior GP race, the Moto 3 ones, race 2, was mental. It was a classic Moto 3 race. We had, like, I know obviously you guys probably didn't watch it, which is fine. We had a brand new winner. We had a brand new winner in Alvaro Carpe. And it was an absolute barnstormer. Eddie O'Shea, I'm gutted, because in the first race, he was about 3rd for most of the race and got pushed wide to 13th place because of a move into turn 10. And then in race 2, Eddie led 14 of 16 laps. Just to crash out of, I think it was 2nd on like the last lap. But the last lap, I think about 10 riders were going in for the victory. And then through turn 10 and the 2 corners after that, about 6 of them crashed out because they were scrapping that hard. Yeah, Maximo Keylegs scrapping in there. It was a Estrella Galicia 1-2 on the penultimate lap with, I believe it was Keyles in 1st. And then it was Casey O'Gorman in 2nd. O'Gorman finished 5th, despite all those crashes. And then where was... Keyles was 9th, despite all those crashes and despite leading over the line into the penultimate. It was that crazy. It was so... This is not the right race.
What was the track?
I just realised I'm reading the wrong thing.
Completely wrong.
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's because I clicked it and it was like... It put it right to the top and I was like, this doesn't make sense. Why is Cormac Buchanan on the podium? There we go. So, yeah. On the last lap... The last few corners, it was O'Shea, Ruda, Rios, and Salmela all crashed out on the last few corners. And Rios was the championship leader after winning 3 races as a complete rookie. Then, on the podium, that's right, Keyles was 4th. Casey O'Gorman was 15th, despite being 2nd over the line.
Well, that's even worse.
Exactly. And then, Carpe won with Morossi and then Uriarte, who's now the championship leader on the CF Moto Aspar bike with Keyles, who's another rookie and is supported by Marquez, both the Marquezes in 4th.
That'll do it.
absolute amazing race. I just spotted Evan Belford in 10th.
What?
As well. He's a rookie.
Yeah, was he not last year's British
Talent Cup?
Yeah, British Talent Cup, that's the word.
Yeah, he was 10th.
That's solid. Nice.
He was 10th. That's very impressive. And that's what I mean. I know you didn't watch it, and that's obviously fine. But if anybody has a chance to...
You keep saying that's obviously
yeah, but I'm
fine.
not saying it. I'm not saying it as in like you didn't watch it. I'm saying it in a way of like, if you didn't watch it, it's on YouTube. Go back and watch it because it was unbelievable.
Well, I'm glad you cleared that up because that's definitely not how you sounded.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys had actually taken the time to watch it, you would know.
The repetition of that's absolutely fine makes me feel like it's not absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean?
No, what I'm saying is, I'm just going to end up digging myself a hole there,
I think you might.
I mean, it's already dug.
And additionally, one more point on Junior GP. Daniel Munoz won both the Moto2 races as well. And he was the kid who was replacing Bo Ben Schneider in the last round in Le Mans.
Is he?
No, he's not related.
Okay. Gotcha.
It went through my mind and I just assumed. I was like, I'm going to sound silly if I ask.
I noticed it weeks ago and I meant to ask or look it up and clarify, but just while you mentioned him there, I'm glad I did ask now.
Well, do you want to know the maddest and weirdest and most annoying thing about the Munozes?
Definitely.
They're not related Munozes, okay.
Yeah, at one point they were teammates.
No way.
And so David and Daniel Munoz in pink, it was a bright purple livery, and they were in the rookies as well together. And you're like, I don't know which one's which. One's 17, one's 64. No idea if that's Daniel or David. No idea.
I thought you meant their age.
No.
So confused.
No, they're not 64 years old.
This is the one time I wish we had video for Cameron's face when he thought he meant he was 64.
Oh my god. I really went through
Is
all
that
kinds.
old racing Moto 2?
Yeah, I went
Almost
through
like
all
Jeremy
kinds
Williams
of emotions there. Blimmin' heck.
Yeah, no. But yeah, it was very good. Anyway, heading into the talk of the town, I guess, at the moment, MotoGP silly season.
Oh yeah. Fill us in. What's happening?
Oh, that old thing, yeah.
Well, there's a lot going on. Obviously, take all this with a pinch of salt, please, for the love of God, because we know what silly season's like. The amount of stupid rumours we've heard over the years.
Yeah, and we're not
quite
spreading
silly.
fake news. It's the point of silly season.
Yes. So I think the main one that's got the most kind of backing to it is Johan Mir's got a few offers on the table to leave Honda. Don't blame him because he's kind of destroying his career being on that Honda and is far more talented than what that bike is showing, crashing out of every race pretty much at the moment. The main one is RNF, is what I've heard.
Wait.
Wait, not RNF, Trackhouse. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Trackhouse, really?
Yeah. Again, not sure how much legs it's got to it, but how much legs it's got to it.
How much leg?
Yeah.
Never heard that, but the last thing I heard silly season wise with Mir was him saying that he doesn't know how much longer he can keep putting his body through what he's going through. So in my mind, I was sort of going, retirement?
I think he meant it in the context of crashing the Honda every week.
Okay. That's fair. Yeah, he's too young to be quitting.
Yeah.
He did think about retirement the other year.
Yes.
I think so did Gia. I think Johan Mir actually posted about it on social media, like, I've been close to retirement. It's mad how many of them on the grid have actually been close to retirement. Vinales is close to retirement, Marquez, so many of them. Alex Marquez said, though, in the media today that he's had some interesting offers on the table. I think a lot of this is coming from Crash.net. I've seen some of it, like that one, so I'm very much take that with a pinch of salt because, yeah, they've got a bit of a reputation, shall we say, for some clicks.
Well, I just think at the minute that there's so many stories and there's so many rumours going around, and then context I think is a big thing, because here's me hearing a quote from Mir, reading a quote from Mir and sort of taking it as, oh, he's going to retire. So I think it's all about context with a lot of these articles is that I think we're hearing a lot of different stories and quotes, and people are putting maybe their own narrative or what they want to happen sort of in the air rather than things being confirmed. I think is the big thing, rather than not reliable. I think it's just people will just write a story that they sort of want to happen.
Oh yeah.
So let's say, okay, so Mir goes to Trackhouse.
Yeah.
Joe Roberts goes to Trackhouse.
Yeah.
What's happening to Oliveira and
Alicia Spargo retires.
Yeah.
Raul goes factory.
Yeah, he's got a 2+2 deal with Aprilia, but that depends on performances.
Yes. Maverick stays.
Yeah.
Because of how well he's doing this season.
Yeah.
That's albeit that nothing at Ducati. Like, Ducati stays all happy families.
Well, the thing is, I've heard that Bazecchi could potentially be looking at a move away from VR46 into Aprilia. And Ney Bastianini could also be an option for Aprilia.
Yeah.
Jorge Martin.
Well, I don't think else going with Martin.
I don't think Aprilia could afford Martin. He said he wants I don't think they could afford his
ego. That's so silly.
That
I don't get it.
Yeah.
That's not me trying to be horrible, but when you look at the likes of... Now, I don't know how much Marc Marquez is on a year, but he's definitely taken a pay cut to be at Gresini.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I don't know why... Unless, if it is true that KTM are looking at him, where he would get the big bucks to ride there, you want a factory seat, and if you're not going to get it with Ducati, why would you not risk a pay cut to go to Aprilia, where you get your factory seat that you've been going on about for the last 2 years? And
you can make it up in endorsements. If you are winning races, you can make it up in endorsements and bonuses and things like that. But the main thing at the moment, Martinez said that, again, I've seen this from Crash.net, that's the source, so do with it what you will, but there has been other talk. The quote, anyway, is that if Ducati don't want me, I'll open talks with KTM. That's the Crash.net quote. But Martin and KTM has been floated around by a number of people now. I've heard it myself from some people I've spoken to as well. The main issue with Martin and KTM is Martin was a KTM rider back in Moto 2.
Yeah.
In his contract, he had a deal to race for the Tech 3 team in 2021. And there was a clause in the contract that basically said, you can leave this deal in 2020, the year before, if the Tech 3 team or KTM in general haven't scored X amount of points by June, I think it was, and you can get out of the contract. That was the COVID year. And so by June, bikes still on the track, so 0 points were on the board. Realistically, KTM hadn't had a chance to show them what you could do. And KTM went on to prove that year that they were incredibly competitive, with Paul Espargaro fighting for wins, Miguel Oliveira winning twice, Binder winning as well. Very competitive package. But Martin, his agent, managed to get out of that contract using that clause, which was a bit of a crap way to do it to KTM, but they had an offer from Pramac Ducati and wanted to take that one up instead. Pit Byra, after that happened, basically said, if a rider drops us in the middle of COVID-19, we would have to think twice about inviting them back into the family. He said that 4 years ago. Things can change now, of course, but yeah, there is talk about potentially Martin to KTM, and that has been said by The Race, by Moto Matters as well, which are two very credible sources, I would say. So that's interesting. I've heard that for myself as well from somebody else. So it's something that is being floated. The Race, I think it was Simon Patterson, also said that there's a high chance that Brad Binder, although he's got a contract till 2027 with KTM, likely has a clause in his contract that says, if you're not hitting these points by this time, a potential demotion to Gas could happen, and a swap with Pedro Acosta could happen, meaning we could see Martin and Acosta as teammates next year, which I'm not mad about, to be honest. And it'll mean Martin can keep Red Bull, who he's had since he was in the Red Bull rookies as well, instead of moving to factory Ducati and having to use Monster Energy instead. And so that's an interesting thing to think about. But the key here is Brad Binder. And maybe Pedro could stay tech-free and stay happy families with Martin over in the factory squad. But Pedro, if we're going on results only, Pedro deserves a factory seat.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense to me. Like, all the actual sort of important material factors align. So you got Red Bull.
Yeah.
You got infinite money. You got factory seat, and you got good bike that can challenge a Ducati on a good day. And with the right rider on it, i.e. Martin, can likely win races multiple times throughout the year. And with that in mind, yeah, you can be sort of, you can hold a grudge if you're these team bosses being like, oh, he left us under bad terms and stuff. But like, ultimately, if you've got a guy that you know that can win races and may well bring you a championship, like, good chance of it, I think you'd let that water pass under the bridge. And I think that's more important than the sort of the grudge thing. Yeah, I could see it happening, to be fair. I think, to me, it makes a lot of sense. And then having Pedro next to him would just be an exciting. You got this, this little spaniel of a character who's just fast and happy-go-lucky, and like, he would end up a thorn in the side of Jorge Martin, who doesn't like to be sort of shown up in any way. And I think Pedro could outperform him. But
they'll push each other on.
Yeah.
They'll push each other on.
Well, this is the thing. You're talking about bringing someone in who finished second in the championship last year, who is currently leading the championship this year. You have the potential to bring him in and he ride number one on your KTM next year. Like, you want
You're
that.
going to throw money at that.
Yeah, exactly. You want that. Then, to second that, you want Pedro Acosta on that factory bike. In these, 5-6 rounds that we've had, the character that he's shown on and off track, you want that in your factory squad. You want to be promoting that. Then to have, arguably two of the best riders on the grid battling for a championship on your factory KTMs. That's what you want. You can't have one on a gas and one, because then you're just going to end up with the same problems that you're having over at Ducati, where everyone wants the factory seats. You've got to back these guys fully, but then in doing that, they're going to have issues with Brad Binder, who obviously has signed that long contract. But like Declan said, there's obviously going to be clauses in the contract, etc., but you want the two fastest guys on your factory bikes, so someone's going to have to lose out. And KTM have been cut through before, so that's why this one makes the most sense, because KTM have been cut through in the past, and they've just completely just ripped the carpet out from multiple different riders, so it's likely to happen. I think it does make the most sense that Martin will be the moving sort of puzzle piece,
the linchpin,
sort of that fits everything else into place. I think you still then have questions at Ducati with the likes of Enea Bastianini and Marc Marquez. Gigi has made it very clear that he has a lot to think about, which obviously he does. But then, with Jorge Martin saying the things that he said about Ducati, saying that if he hasn't done enough by now to prove that he should be in red, what else can he do? So I feel like that he's removed himself from the equation already. I don't actually think he wants that factory Ducati seat based on what he said. So, yeah, he will go. But Red Bull KTM makes more sense than Aprilia. But I think Aprilia is still on the cards, because factory seat, either way, he's going to take one or the other. So
yeah, and if a factory can obviously inherit, shall we say, a number one plate for next year, that looks amazing for marketing wise.
And teams are going to throw money at that. So you'd say KTM will probably outbid Aprilia in that sense.
I'd say so.
The thing with gas, there is a benefit to any rider in the red gas bike is they are listed as a factory entry despite being an RC16. They are running the same bikes as a factory team, but it is it is the Tech 3 squad. It's not the factory KTM squad. It is the factory Gas squad, but it is still a Tech 3 squad, which is an excellent team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to work for Hervé Poncharal.
Oh, yeah, he's fantastic, isn't he?
Legend.
I loved him. Yeah, I mean, the thing as well is that KTM ideally want to keep all 4 riders for next year. That's kind of their goal. That's what they did this year. They did actually have a chat with Marc Marquez as well, but felt that Marquez kind of wanted to be on the best bike to give himself the best chance. You know, it was kind of a Ducati or nothing. He wanted to give himself the same chance, albeit on an 8-year-old bike, as Bagnaia, as Martin, and can you do it? And he's proven he can do it. The option for him to go to KTM next year is unlikely because he'd have to learn a 3rd bike at that point. Although I did mention this in the podcast ages ago, Marquez maybe going to KTM next year, but it's unlikely. But Pit Byra, again, KTM Motorsport boss, said to Motorsport magazine, quite frankly, the performances at the moment of Jack and Augusto are a little bit lacking for a MotoGP seat, which is so valuable. They want to keep both riders, but if they're paying X amount of money and you got Pedro Acosta coming in and doing what he's done, Brad Binder's been injured. I'm going to give him that. I stick to what me and you said, Cameron. Brad Binder can get a 2nd place at any track on that calendar. 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think Brad's seat should ever be questioned.
No,
I don't think
absolutely not.
in any circumstances, because if he just finds that little bit of consistency, he's there. But
he's title contender, easy.
Yeah, I say that with a pinch of salt because week in, week out, he's always top 10, no matter where he qualifies. I mean, the other week he was like 22nd or something like that, and still managed an 8th place or something like that. Like, you can always count on him to be a Sunday man and to bring in the results. I don't think his seat at KTM should be questioned. Where in the rankings that he is placed, yes, chance of going to, I say down to Gas, which, you know, a step across to Gas could be considered, but 100% agree with the fact that Jack and Augusto are nowhere in comparison.
No.
And if anything, they should be the 2 on the chopping block. Like, both riders, Brad has outperformed Jack and Pedro has outperformed Augusto by a mile. Like, I didn't know that Gas was capable of those sorts of performances until Pedro stepped on the bike, and it just goes to show that with the right rider on any bike, they can make it to the front. So someone has to go. I think, even if they want to keep the same 4 riders, why would you? I don't get it at this point when there's 2 riders clearly outperforming the other 2.
Yeah, and in addition to that point, because Augusto, if he gets shipped out of it, fair enough. It's a shame, only 2 years in MotoGP, but again, not performing as much yet. Raul Fernandez shouldn't have a seat on that basis either. Miguel Oliveira, and I'm not saying it as a point against you, I'm kind of saying, you know, if we're clearing out the trash a little bit, Miguel Oliveira hasn't done anything in years either.
Well, yeah, this is what I said the last 2 podcast episodes now, so I'm going to make it 3 in a row by saying, you know, how long do we give people?
Yeah, how long does Raul Fernandez get? Yes, he's exceptional in Moto2, but Augusto Fernandez is a Moto2 world champion.
I think
so is Remy Gardner.
2 years is enough, I think.
It is.
So, you know, you've obviously got your rookie season. That's, I think that's a write-off. I think that's completely fair if you're not performing in your rookie year.
Yeah.
That's totally cool. But if you get to the end of your 2nd year and you're still...
And you're not building on that.
And you're not making improvements. If you're just getting 1 or 2 results here and there, scoring little points week in, week out, while your teammates younger than you in his rookie season outperforming you, come on. Like, it has to be cut through at some point. And I think not even just in KTM, I think you're right in other garages too, that it's sort of just... I'm wondering why some riders are still
like
where they are.
Nakagami is dead wood at this point.
Yeah, well.
Well, I'm just, well, like, why did Frankie Morbidelli? How did he get a Pramac seat?
True. I think Frankie has done well. I think he was 7th, at Le Mans?
Oh yeah, he's made an improvement from Yamaha, 100%.
And he missed the entire pre-season as well, through injury. Give Frankie a few rounds and he'll be up there.
I think obviously that is another one of like by the end of the year, if he hasn't done anything, I'm sort of going.
100%.
But based on his results at Yamaha, you're going, how did he even manage to get into conversation with
to get a factory GP24?
Like, it blows my mind. I think there needs to be a big shake-up. I think things have sort of gone in a circle. Everyone's sort of moved within teams. Whereas I think we now need a few people to sort of start making way.
Yeah, and in Moto 2, the riders aren't getting the opportunities. I think...
Yeah, so then week in, week out, we're slagging them off for not performing well because they're just in that same washing machine of just being thrown around Moto 2 teams.
Because the amount of Moto 2 riders who I think were ready, didn't get the chance, and then are then on the other side of that, say, roller coaster, you've gone up and you're ready. Yeah, like Jake Dixon, give him a shot at the end of last year. He could have done very well this year, but now he's sat on 0 points because of injuries, because of the WP suspension and stuff like that, you know?
Jake's a big one, and obviously been a big talking point this week too, with a lot of people sort of slating him, but people are very quick to forget when riders have done well, even if it's just as, I don't know, like he could have performed well 2 weekends ago, crashed last weekend, and people would be like, oh, Jake doesn't deserve to be anywhere near Moto 2,
You're
whatever.
only as good as your last race.
And it's just sort of like, when he made that stand-in ride in MotoGP at Yamaha, like, he did well. I don't know why. Like, all things considered, to step in to, you know, destroy your chances in Moto 2 of, like, I know he wasn't battling for the championship that year, but, you know, to put your own championship to the side to go step up and do that in MotoGP, like, a lot of people just, it goes straight over their heads and they just completely forget that he's done a lot over the last couple of years. But just because he's not Pedro Acosta or the next Marc Marquez, people are just like, oh, no, he's crap. And because he's British. How many Spaniards and Italians do you see in Moto 2 doing worse than Jake Dixon? And you don't hear anyone talking about them.
On the grid, man.
I'm not naming names, but there's a lot of people out there that you're sort of just going, Jake's done a hell of a lot better than them. So I don't know why he's in your mouth right now. Like, I don't get it. The name in your mouth.
Keep my rider's name out your mouth. Yeah. That's it. I think there are so many Moto2 riders. Obviously, MotoGP is the top. They don't give those rides out on cereal packets. But it seemed like a few years ago it was a lot easier to get to MotoGP. We were consistently seeing 4 or 5 rookies every year. And now it's 1 or 2. Obviously, we've got Furman going up next year. Somewhere, may I add. Because if Yamaha and Pramac are a thing, then either Didier, not Pecco obviously, but Martin, Anea, Mark, the other Marquez, Bezzecchi or Didier are out. Because Furman's got to go somewhere on a factory bike because he's on a Ducati contract. He can still get a year-old bike. If Pramac go out, I'd expect Bezzecchi and Marquez to get those GP25s next year that Pramac had.
Yeah, for sure.
With maybe Furman slotting in next to Marco Grassini.
I think so. Yeah.
But I don't know. And the thing is, where's the Moto2 World Champion? Yes, we've had 5 races, don't get me wrong. But Sergio Garcia leads the championship at the moment. Where's he going to slot him? Joe Roberts, maybe RNF, which is great, of course.
Trackhouse.
Is Agura ever going to step up? Aaron Canet? I think Aaron Canet's kind of missed the boat now.
He's injured again now, is the problem.
Yeah.
So you really... I don't know.
Vietti... I don't even understand what the hell goes on. Tony Arbolino...
No, I'm not getting Tony Arbolino slander. I'm not listening.
I'm not going to slander him, but what I am saying is Tony Arbolino's earmarked for a Rossini seat last year. Obviously, he went to Marc Marquez. Understand that completely from a global perspective and just generally, I'm always going to go, as a team manager, always go Marc over Tony Arbolino. But Toby Arbolino may have missed that boat now because he's absolutely nowhere this year.
Yeah.
But it's that horrible washing machine. That's all it is. Like, if someone gives him a chance this year based on his previous performances, you know, you never know.
But, like, it's like, where does he go?
I don't know.
He's not going to go to a Honda.
GP.
I think the best thing to do would be, in my head, Mir, leave Honda, get out of there, mate. Go to Trackhouse alongside Joe Roberts. Jack Miller can hop on a Honda, take a decent paycheck. Doesn't really matter if he rides at the back because, let's be honest, like, it's fine.
Factory Honda?
Yeah, give him the factory Honda, Jack Miller. Give Jack Miller the factory Honda.
They're just giving those out for free now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's wild.
Who wants it? Who wants it?
Did you hear Luca Marini apparently wants out?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. He scored 0 points. Last year, he was getting pole positions at this point in the season.
Yeah. I, again, don't know if there's any truth behind it. I cannot remember for the life of me where or when I read this. But...
yeah, I'm sure I saw it just scrolling
there's
Facebook
definitely
or whatever. Yeah.
people muttering it somewhere that he wants out.
Right. It's a game question on it. Luca Marini could try and break Honda contracts. Paddock GP have said that Jaromir and Luca Marini could seek the emergency exit with Jack Miller at the front door. Marini, Autosport, which is the most reputable source of the lot, have just said Marini's bemused by his Honda MotoGP pace in 2024, and they've gone into how bad it is. Another one, Motorcycle Sports, again, dodgy one, eyes exit from Honda. So the only real reputable one in there hasn't said it, but they are like, Marini is absolutely bemused by what the hell's going on. So he's not happy with
the pace, so I think people have maybe ran with the wants out sort of thing, but I think he has made it clear that he's not happy about how the season started.
I wouldn't be either. Yeah. He is having a daughter, by the way. He announced that today, so congratulations, Luca. I should say his wife's having a daughter because he's not the one pushing it out, but...
yeah, he's not involved. Oh my god, not like that, but...
yeah. But yeah, that's the thing.
I think anyone joining these factory teams for the Japanese bikes now are like signing themselves up for 2027, really.
They're at the tail end of their career and like, how much money can I milk out of MotoGP before I'm forced out?
Yeah, I think it's like they're basically just waiting for these regulation changes to come in where they think, it might breathe a bit of new life into these teams, and then also kind of level the playing field again and bring the bikes back to where Honda and Yamaha could actually deliver.
Yeah.
But I think if you can hang on to a MotoGP seat, like if you're sort of 1 foot out the door, sort of being shoved out, but if you can keep a seat until the new regulations come in and make it work, and sort of if it benefits you then in 2027, then all of a sudden you're back at the front and you're sort of going, see, look at this. So I don't know, it's a weird mix because obviously like Fabio Quartararo has made that commitment already. Staying where he is. I'd say Alex Rins is probably going to try and do the same.
I think so.
Because I don't see where else he's going to go. So, yeah, maybe if we've sort of said that Jacket is on his way out at KTM, if there's people wanting to leave Honda, that does open up seats. If he can get himself in there and hold on to 2027 and the regulation changes work for him, then... Because it's only 2 years. And 2-year contracts are pretty normal business.
And this is the thing with Rins and Fabio. By the time these regulation changes come out, they'll be some of the only riders on the grid who have experienced GP bikes without ride height devices and crazy aero.
Yeah.
They'll have an idea of what a bike like that should maybe feel like. Obviously, a lot of other things will be different. But, by that time, they'll be some of the most tenured riders on the grid, no?
And still young enough to make it work. Yeah,
that's it. I think, but the thing is, you look at Yamaha and you look at Honda. Both Yamaha and Honda have had terrible times. Honda, I was just trying to find the information on their specific bike, but I couldn't find it. Honda built a pretty bad bike in the either late 80s or the 90s. It was very bad. All the riders struggled to ride it, no grip, anything like that. And Honda very quickly rushed and replaced it with the NSR 500, which was the bike to be on. Mick Doohan won 5 titles on it. Crivier won a title on it. Rossi won a title on it. Amazing bike. And Honda carried that momentum through, built the insane V5 that is just, what an incredible feat of engineering that V5 was. And won titles all the way through to 2019 because of the rider choices and the talent that these riders had. Yamaha were nowhere around 2003. They had all that success with Wayne Rainey. They had success prior to that with many other riders that I can't think of. Like, here we go. Phil Reed, for example. Agostini. You know, Yamaha had success. 2003, nowhere. Valentino Rossi hops on the bike. Boom.
Wins.
2 more titles in the bag.
Yep.
Then misses two because Hayden won, Stoner won. Then Rossi puts 2 more in there for Yamaha. Then Lorenzo won again in 2015. Fabio won in 2021. Continuing that trend of Yamaha coming back and doing it. Yamaha and Honda will come back eventually if they can match what everybody else is doing. And it's a bet. Like we see with Rins, we see with Yamaha, with Fabio as well. Fabio is betting on that comeback from Yamaha. And maybe Jack could go to Honda and bet on that comeback from Honda. And you just don't know in 2027.
Yeah. I think Yamaha have made a better step than Honda this year.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Like, they've brought something, albeit not much. But, you know, Fabio hasn't looked too bad the last couple of rounds. Like, it's still not where he should be, but I mean, it's looking better, and they're not running in last place like Honda are, which is a massive thing. So if they can make a big enough step to sort of even maybe get themselves back in the top 10, which I think maybe by the end of the season, if they keep on the trajectory that they're going, could be a possibility. Fabio's not too far out from the top 10 in the standings. So you never know. Like, they could make that step, which then come 2027 will help them, because they are betting on those changes sort of working in their favour, whereas Honda have not made any step or any progress to getting better at all. And now, I think they're going to struggle finding people to actually want to stay on that bike, because Jack Miller goes to Honda. Who's to say he manages to make it for 3 years on that bike?
And not crash his brains out and break himself in the process.
Crashing week in, week out. You know, he's got a family at home, like many of the other riders do too. Like, you don't want to be doing that week in, week out and going home and, you know, not being able to play with your kids, sort of thing. Like,
yeah, and no young rider is going to risk their career on a Honda or Yamaha.
No.
Either.
No.
And I do think it's interesting though, because I think we had a chat the other week about the Ducati and how good it is, and I've seen some rumbles actually on social media about the Ducati being as good as it is, exposing some riders for not actually having the talent but having the bike, which I found quite interesting as well.
Well, it's kind of what we discussed last week before.
Yeah, it's been a running theme.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, in recent times, most of the rookies that have come up, the only ones that are still there are the ones who were
on the case
that had the Ducati under them, and therefore were just kind of not handed the results. Obviously, they still had to perform,
earn it,
but they weren't at a disadvantage like everybody else, it seemed.
No, and the only way Marquez could fight at the front again was on the Ducati as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
I honestly think Pedro Acosta is the only, like,
he's the outlier, isn't he?
The anomaly to all this. Like, it shouldn't work based on the last 3-4 years, but he's making it work. So I think there is going to be questions asked, and I'd love to see them on, I don't know, like, just bog standard, like, stock bikes or something. And I wonder who would win that, because I don't think it would be the guys who are leading the championship at the minute.
It'll be for Quartararo, Marc Marquez, John Mir, the riders who have shown exceptional talent throughout the career. Vinales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ralph Fernandez potentially.
Speed alone, Raul is fast. Like we've seen it in Moto 2.
Unbelievable, yeah.
He is so fast. Maverick Vinales is probably the fastest guy. And Jorge Martin. Well, we've only seen it on a Ducati, so.
But Pecco, I'm going to make a bold claim, would be about 9th.
Well,
I don't know. I don't know. Because, you know, the next week he goes and pulls out a double overtake on the brakes, and you're sort of going, holy crap, I did not know you had that in you. So I don't know about Pecco. I do not know.
Yeah,
He's the one that I have the biggest question mark over. But he's the one I'd most like to see on a different manufacturer just because of is it Ducati or is it Pecco? Or is it just literally that match made in heaven where they are just the perfect combination?
It just works.
They've built it around him.
Ducati have built a bike around him. Like you said, it's Pecco's bike. So it's, of course it works all his strengths because it's his bike.
Interestingly, just as a little hypothetical, if Pedro had stepped up onto a Ducati, do you think he'd have won a race?
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah?
He'd be cleaning the floor.
If he stepped into that Pramac team, it'd be using Francesco Bagnai's Barnet as a mop.
So then what do we think Furman will do?
Probably be instantly competitive as well.
I don't think I think he takes more time to adapt based on him moving into Moto 2, taking, this is his second full season coming into now. It would be his third full season now.
I think, it would be.
Because I think he did wild cards and then he stepped in and then.
So Furman, because Furman Aldeguer
came from Moto E.
Well, he came from Moto E and was doing very well there at 15 years old.
Yeah.
But he did exceptionally well in Junior GP. He was third overall in European Talent Cup behind Izan Guevara, who's a champion. Won the Stock 600 Championship as a rookie, but again, Lorenzo Dalla Porta's won every race of that this year, so take that information what you will. And then in the FIM CV Moto 2 Championship, he cleaned up and nearly won every race, barring 2. But that class, again, has had this thing where riders have come from that class and not done very well. Tulovic was a champion, not last year, but the year before. Now he's back in Moto E because he couldn't perform in the World Championship. Furman did step up and do a full year in 2022 with some 4th places as his best result. Then last year was 3rd overall with 4 race wins, and this year is now 3rd again with 2 podiums, including a win.
Okay. Well, I do think he will be good on a Ducati, but I don't think he will.
It'll take a minute.
Yeah. I think he'd be like Bez in his first year or 2.
Yeah, which is respectable. I mean, Bagnai wasn't amazing in his first 2 years, and then suddenly bang.
Yeah, it was Pramac.
Yeah. Mad.
That's why he hates the fact that satellite bikes are so good. Because when he was on a satellite bike, it was nowhere near the factory team. Whereas now Jorge Martin's getting exactly the same as what Pecco's getting.
Yeah,
and that bothers him.
He's not happy bunny about it, is he?
It bothers me that it bothers him.
Yeah, same. You shouldn't care. You should be riding your own bike and winning your own races. Doesn't matter what everyone else is on. If you're the best rider out there, you'll win that race.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the fact that he has this big issue with satellite bikes that it bothers me too that he has an issue with it, and I think it's
the privilege in it. I'm on a factory bike now, so I've got that privilege. So now I want everybody who's not on a factory bike to be disadvantaged because now I've got the advantage.
Like, obviously I know nothing about Pecco Bagnaia, but it just attitude wise it comes across terribly in my opinion.
Well, there's just a few incidences in his in his record book that I'm just like, you're a bit of a brat sometimes,
He and Martin are not fan favourites at all.
No, but I am more inclined to agree with some of the things that Martin has said.
Yeah.
And I would back him. Not back him, but I don't know, just maybe agree with more things that he's come out with and sort of go, I can sort of see like whole factory Ducati say, I can so see why you're getting on it the way you're getting on.
Yeah.
Whereas Pecco, I'm just like, Just, I don't know. You're already on the best bike. I don't know what else you want.
Just focus on your job in hand and not what everyone else is doing.
Stop whinging.
You can't really get handed anything more.
Yeah.
No, that's it. But yes. Shall we move on to predictions?
All right.
Wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
Okay.
So, Catalunya, Moto3. A lot of the Spanish kids now are going to be good. Angel Becerras will be a fighter, I think, this race because he was very good there. He's grown up there, really, hasn't he?
Let me get my list of winners.
Am I on there?
Surprisingly not, actually.
Ah.
I know, I thought you would be, but...
Yeah, you should be top of that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because let's have a look. In the Junior GP last year, at Catalunya, where is it? Estoril, Valencia, Jerez, Barcelona, there you go, was won by Xabi Zuratuza, who's obviously a rookie this year. Second went to Rulestone.
Really?
Third went to Angel Becerras in the first race. In the second race, it went to RB, didn't it? Yeah, he won then. He's not racing it this year. David Almanza was second, and Joel Esteban was third. So those 6 riders, well, 5, because RB's not there yet.
You know who
those
won last
5
year?
riders were very good. In Moto3 World?
Yeah.
No, not off the top of my head.
David Alonso.
Oh. Okay, well then that's settled it for me.
Do what you will with that information.
Well then.
Right.
Oh my god, Darren Bender's won around here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Darren's the goat.
He is indeed. Right, I've got my Moto3 pole position, so I'll start with David Alonso.
It's really hard to
bet against him.
Yeah, yeah. Like, why wouldn't you say David Alonso?
Yeah.
Is Rada back at full fitness?
Moderately, yeah.
Moderate fitness, eh?
I wouldn't bet against Xabi Zuratuza, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you would say that.
On the podium,
I can't say his name, so...
Fair enough. He is like a little pocket rocket. He's like 5 foot nothing. We were talking about Sergio Garcia last year. He is tiny, Zuratuza.
I mean, I'll just say Holgado for pole, just so that, I don't know, something different. Is he okay? Is, like, no one's injured?
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah. He's chill.
Let me just call him up and see if he's...
Is there... Go someone check on Holgado for the weekend.
I'll ask his sister, she'll know.
No, there was no need to take it there.
Right.
Rude.
Lauren, poll, please.
Becerras.
No, he's
okay.
Shout. He is actually, I believe Becerras is Catalan as well.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Angel Becerras. He is from... It's not going to tell me now, is it?
Madrid.
I want you to be wrong. In this
yeah.
situation.
Be wrong.
Requena in Spain. Where's that? Oh, 68 kilometers from Valencia. That's interesting.
I was going to say Valencia. I wish I'd said it now, because...
Yeah.
Don't roll your eyes.
I was going to say Valencia.
But the thing is, his helmet design, his Spanish thing around his helmet has got like the Catalan... I don't know if you saw the MotoGP poster today. It's got like the little like shell things. That's what his helmet is like, and it's always been like that. So I was like, yeah, tiles. So I'm like, oh, he's maybe Catalan, but
little shell
things.
A tile, like, you know,
tile,
a classic Spanish thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Jesus Christ.
Because Marquez also has tiles on his helmet for Catalunya. So I was like, oh, maybe it's Catalan. But yeah, anyway, third place, I've gone for Joel Esteban.
There's another name for that, and that's really bothering me. I can't think of that.
What?
About, like, the tiles.
Yeah, shells.
No.
No.
It'll come to me, sorry.
Yeah, think about your third place podium, please.
Yeah. Go ahead, Cameron. You can
Oh,
go
right. Okay, me. third place, I will have. I'll have Holgado in third then.
Okay. And Lauren?
I would like. This is hard because I'm torn between head and heart here of like what I want to happen and what probably will happen. Two very different things.
Well,
let's go with one of the rookies. Let's go for Joel Esteban.
Oh, you copied me.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Oh, I didn't realize you'd even said that. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Is it a mosaic you're after as well?
Oh, yeah, that's...
You can't be on about mosaics. That's not the same as Spanish tile. Anyway.
No, but that's what I thought he was trying to say. But that's definitely what it is in the picture.
Yeah, it is a mosaic in the picture, yeah.
Is that Spanish?
Mosaic?
Yeah,
I thought mosaic was more of a Greek thing.
Probably, but Spanish people do it. It's also Roman. It's also just Latin in general.
Yeah. We'll call it Latin. We'll draw a line under it, and we'll carry on. How about that?
Right,
yeah,
so
right.
I was really consuming my thoughts there.
Yeah, I can tell. Right. David Alonso. No, I've not. No. Second place, I've gone David Holgado. Daniel Holgado.
David
Holgado?
Holgado.
Yeah, my brain is just
alter ego
dying.
brother or something?
Yeah, it's his twin. Like the Daniel and David Munozes.
Yeah, but they're not really.
Right, Cameron.
Who did I say for third? I said Holgado third.
Yeah.
I'll go Alonso second, please.
Oh, okay, interesting. And Lauren, please.
Colin Vire.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot about Vire. Jeez. So I've gone Alonso to win.
Okay.
Cameron.
I'm going. Well. Oh no! Wait. We just established that Piqueras isn't a home hero, right?
No, but he did get third there last year.
Well, I'm gonna say Piqueras because I can't think of another home hero. Rookie. Like, CatalanGP, it's special. Let's have a
Where's
special
Danny
result.
Holgado from?
Who cares?
No, Lauren.
Spain.
Spain.
He's Latin.
Yeah. Holgado is from...
Predictions.
Where the hell is that? San Vicente del Raspique.
Ah, yes,
The
no, well.
frick is that? Valencia.
Oh, you were going to say Valencia, Lauren, weren't you?
Yeah. How do you know?
Just don't say that.
Look, if they're not
Right.
from Murcia, they're from Valencia.
It's true.
It's literally
Right.
the only
Alonso
two
for you,
places
is it,
in
Lauren?
Spain. I don't know. I don't like.
That's the point. It's a prediction.
I'm torn between two people, and so it's very 50-50. I am gonna put. Who'd you put to win? Piqueras and
Alonso.
Holgado.
Okay.
Cool.
Interesting.
That makes that.
Can't wait for you to
decision
score no points again.
Whoa. Rewind. Who got the podium completely right last week?
Don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on.
Rewind.
Cameron.
Whoa.
It's rewind time. Right, Cameron, Moto2 poll, please.
Oh, who's even in Moto 2?
Joe Roberts.
Oh yeah, Joe Roberts is in Moto 2.
He's not at a poll. You know, well, that's interesting. Canet is at a poll every other race this year. He had it first, third, and fifth. So he'll have another poll in Magellan.
Okay.
He's from Valencia. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I did know that, actually. I did know
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
He's from Corbera.
Which is
I'm guessing, in
in
Valencia.
Valencia.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, well, where is Madrid then? Oh, that's where, and Madrid. Anyways, move on.
So I'll have. Is anyone injured before I say any names?
I don't think so.
Don't think so. Not at the moment. Not as of recording on Monday, the 20th of May.
No.
Yeah, get me Furman for pole, please.
Nice.
Do you know who won here last year?
No.
No.
Jake Dixon
Way. Imagine that 0 points to
win.
Yeah, I was just going through his by it. Lopez, Madrid, and then Sergio Garcia, all votes over Valencia.
Yep. Could hold
Right,
that.
can it? Right, I'm going to can it poll. Lauren, please.
Oh, based on what you've just said, you've contradicted yourself.
I know.
I'm going to
That's
go
me.
for Aldeguer.
Okay. Right, third place, Cameron, please.
Roberts.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to go Lopez and Lauren.
Garcia.
Oh, okay. Right, Cameron, second place, please.
I'm going Garcia second.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've gone Roberts and Lauren.
Aldeguer.
Nice. Cameron for Moto2 win, please.
I'm going Furman win as well.
Damn.
Bolton win.
Yeah.
Lopez and Furman seem to just swap form every round.
Yeah, they do.
So-
That's true, because I've gone Garcia, meaning Lopez is third and Aldeguer's not on the podium. And Lauren?
I kind of want.
Do it.
I've
Say
made a decision that I shouldn't have made because I'm thinking Mugello makes more sense than Catalunya. I've gone with Joe Roberts, but I'm premature in my predictions. I should have done this for next week.
Roberts. Okay, interesting.
Why?
Right.
Tell me why.
Mugello would suit him.
Tell me why.
Like
Flowing.
a fast
track.
flowing
Yeah,
track.
sure.
Technically suits Joe better than.
True.
Yeah.
Well, we'll stick with you, Lauren, for pole in MotoGP, please.
There can be only one.
Oh, I don't know how I did last year, but based on Aprilia's form, I'm going to say Maverick Vinales.
Interesting. That's a surprise. Cameron?
I did think Vinales was a possibility.
Did you?
Yeah. Given, like you say, Aprilia seem to do well here every year, and Vinales maybe has something extra this year. But just can't ignore Martin for a pole right now, I don't think.
No, it's true.
In my opinion.
Well,
so, yeah, I'm going with Martin.
I'm also going with Martin, but it was Bagnaia who got pole last year at Catalunya.
Yeah, but he's clapped out now, so.
Yeah, he's just clapped in general, to be honest.
Yeah.
Let's go. He's not. He's obviously not.
Whoa. Don't come for me. You know.
Right. Sprint winner, please, Lauren.
Martin.
I was going to say Cameron.
Shall we go wild and say Acosta?
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wait till you hear my main race predictions.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Well, I've gone Martin as well because it's safe.
I had to go safe with the sprint because of what I've chosen for the main race. So.
Okay. Right. Third place, please, Lauren.
Marc Marquez.
Nice. Okay, Cameron.
For third?
Yeah.
Let's say Pedro. Let's get Pedro a podium.
Okay. Nice. I like to hear that. I've gone Alicia Spargaro.
Okay.
Lauren second, please.
Jorge Martin.
Okay. Cameron.
I'm going to say Marc Marquez.
Okay.
I think he's destined for second until we get to an anti-clockwise track.
True.
Ring. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
We've already had one anti-clockwise track, but
you got Aragon as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. We've had Kota, it's anti-clockwise as well. But it was said that at what was it? When he overtook Bagnaia, I don't know if you saw the aerial shot when he overtook Bagnaia at Le Mans. He came from miles back, and that was also a left-hand corner, and he was carrying 5 to 10 Ks more than every other rider at a left-hand corner. It's crazy.
Yeah. So what? We got Saxon Ring and we got Aragon still.
Aragon, yeah.
Yeah, so it's two anti-clockwise tracks.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Second, I've gone Acosta.
Ooh.
Lauren, please. Acosta.
Pedro Acosta. He's gonna do it.
Pedro.
If he wins, they better put that on the podium.
No.
That has to be his podium walkout song. Okay, and Cameron?
For victory,
Yeah.
Martin again. I think he's going to start running away with it, to be honest.
There.
Well, I've gone against what you've said, and I've gone Marc Marquez.
Ooh.
I hope you're right, but I just feel like on the clockwise tracks, the GP24s, mainly Martin, just has that something more that Marquez can't quite crack yet. But we'll see.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Where's Pecco Bagnaia finishing then?
In the gravel. I don't know. I don't think actually.
Listen,
I think maybe fourth or fifth.
We can't wish ill of Pecco because of what happened last year.
Not.
No,
No way.
Like last year, he could have ended his career with the accident he was in. So,
that's it.
But yeah, I don't think I don't think he'll be on the box.
Really? Because I'm. Part of me's thinking because of how last weekend went, we might get the Pecco that's like.
He loves a comeback story.
Yeah.
He thrives in a comeback story.
38 points back at the minute, which is wee buns to Pecco. So.
Yeah, it's not deep enough yet.
Oh really?
But it's not a triple-digit deficit. He's
gonna go down like 100 points this season and be like, "Alright, watch this."
Here we go. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, is kind of his bogey track. 2019 DNF, 2020 6th, 2021 7th, 2022 DNF, 2023 didn't start.
Yikes.
The best result is 6th at Catalunya in 2020.
Do you know who's going to do well? Hopefully, Fabio Quartararo.
Hopefully, he likes this place. Yeah,
he's won a few times around here.
That's true.
Well,
it's true.
I'm excited. I do like the CatalanGP.
I love Catalunya, and I'm so glad it's back in the calendar where it should be.
Yeah, I agree. Because it keeps moving.
This is where it should be. Although I'm not the biggest fan of Aragon, but I like having Catalunya, Mugello.
Yeah, it's a good
Factoring
time.
Assen and then boom, summer holidays.
Vibes.
Absolutely.
Back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait for Mugello. Cal Crutchlow won't be in Mugello because of surgery that's gone wrong. Not gone wrong, but complications after surgery. So that's a shame.
It's a shame, but I got the call earlier, and I'll be going. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yes, I've already actually put Cameron down for my winner in Mugello.
Who beat me to it? God damn it.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then. And on that note, I think it's time to end the podcast.
I think it might be.
Yeah.
Like for good or just this time?
Just this episode.
Okay.
I was going to say for good. I'm sick
Cam focus on his racing career.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's contract things. I don't know. It's not personal.
No, of course not. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. We're back next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.